These 3 pennies look normal, but worth $140,000 plus. What if I told you, right now, sitting somewhere in a dusty jar, an old drawer, or even inside your pocket change, there could be a coin that people have unknowingly spent, thrown away, or ignored. A coin that looks completely ordinary, but carries a hidden value so massive it has shocked collectors, stunned auction houses, and turned everyday people into instant treasure holders. This is not a fantasy. This is happening right now in America. And today, we're uncovering 3 of the most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered, coins that were once used to buy candy, bus rides, and coffee. But today, they are being hunted like buried treasure. And the first coin, the one we're about to reveal, it came from a time of war, a time when the United States changed the very metal of its money, and somehow this coin survived in a form that almost no one expected. If you've ever touched a penny, if you've ever ignored one on the ground, you need to watch this carefully, because the next coin might not be just a coin. It might be your hidden fortune. Coin number 1. Now imagine the year 1943. The world is in the middle of World War II. The United States government is under pressure, resources are limited, and copper, the metal normally used for pennies, is desperately needed for war equipment, ammunition, and communication wires. So something historic happens. For the first time ever, the U.S. Mint makes a radical decision. They completely change the composition of the penny. Instead of copper, they begin producing pennies using steel coated with zinc. These coins came out with a strange, silver-like shine, unlike anything Americans had ever seen before. And among those, one specific mint location quietly released a version that would later become a collector's obsession. The Denver Mint, marked with a tiny D below the year. This is where the story turns from history into hidden treasure. Hold this coin in your hand and look closely. On the front, you'll see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln. Calm, strong, timeless. Above his head, the word liberty stands proud. To the right, the year 1943, and just beneath it, a small but powerful letter, D. That tiny mint mark is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. On the back, you'll see 2 wheat stalks curving upward, framing the words, 1 cent. And above that, United States of America. And then, almost like a whisper from history, E pluribus unum. This design is simple, but behind that simplicity lies one of the most fascinating wartime transformations in U.S. coin history. This coin is not copper. It is made of low-carbon steel coated with zinc. That's why it has that cold, silver-gray shine. Its weight is approximately 2.7 grams, slightly lighter than traditional bronze pennies. Its diameter, about 19 millimeters, and thickness, roughly 1.55 millimeters. But here's where it gets interesting. Because of its steel composition, this coin is magnetic. Yes, it sticks to a magnet. And that single feature alone has helped collectors identify it instantly. Now listen carefully, because this is where ordinary people start realizing what they might have missed. This coin was produced during a single year, 1943, but not all of them survived in good condition. Many were exposed to moisture, causing rust. Others were lost, damaged, or discarded. But when you find one in very fine condition, with clear details, minimal wear, and that original steel shine still visible, it becomes something else entirely. Something rare, something hunted, something powerful. Because collectors don't just see metal, they see history preserved in your hands. The 1943D steel penny is not just rare, it is highly demanded. Collectors across the United States are constantly searching for examples that are well preserved. Why? Because this coin represents a moment when America adapted under pressure, when even the smallest object, a penny, became part of a global war effort. And coins from the Denver Mint, especially in strong condition, are becoming harder and harder to find. That demand is growing. Day by day, auction by auction, collectors are competing, prices are rising, and the number of available coins shrinking. Now, take a breath, because this is the moment everything changes. A 1943D Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition has reached an auction market value of $140,000. Yeah, you heard that right. One single penny, holding a value that feels like a hidden vault of wealth. And here's the truth. This price is absolutely current based on today's auction market. And it's not slowing down. In fact, collectors believe its value is still rising. This is not just a coin. This is a sleeping giant of value, a piece of history that keeps gaining power. And here's the shocking part. People are still losing these coins. They confuse them with ordinary pennies. They ignore the steel color. They overlook the mint mark. And sometimes they spend them without even knowing. That's how hidden this treasure really is. If you want to protect yourself from missing something this valuable, start paying attention to every 1943 penny you find. Check the color. Test it with a magnet. Look closely for that D mint mark. And most importantly, respect condition. Because even small differences in wear can turn a coin from ordinary into extraordinary. Keep your coins safe. Avoid cleaning them. And if you think you've found something special, get it verified. Because what you're holding might not just be metal. It might be a life-changing discovery. This coin, once moved quietly through the hands of everyday people, used for the smallest purchases, forgotten over time, is now standing as proof that value doesn't always shout. Sometimes it hides, waiting for the right person to notice. And maybe that person is you. If this shocked you, if this opened your eyes, then stay with me, because this is only the beginning. We uncover hidden coin treasures like this every single day on this channel. Make sure you don't miss what could be sitting right in front of you, because the next coin might be even more unbelievable. Next up, just when you think you've seen it all, just when you believe the last coin couldn't possibly be topped, this next discovery quietly breaks expectations. Because this isn't just about age, it's about something people overlook every single day. A tiny detail, a strange color, a mark that most people would ignore. But collectors, they stop everything when they see it. And here's the truth that might shake you. Some of these coins have passed through thousands of hands, spent without a second thought, lost in jars, drawers, and pocket change, while carrying a hidden power that almost nobody recognized. This next coin is one of those silent treasures. Now step into the year 1953. America is moving forward after the war years. Industry is booming, families are growing, and everyday life feels stable again. Coins are being produced in massive numbers. Pennies, especially, are flowing through the economy like never before. But hidden within this flood of ordinary coins, a small number came out with something unusual, something that didn't look perfect, something most people would mistake for damage. But in reality, it became a signature of rarity. At the Denver Mint, marked by the letter D, a batch of Lincoln wheat pennies emerged with subtle but powerful color variations, blue-toned spots, and deep brown areas, creating a contrast that feels almost unnatural. At first glance, it looks like imperfection, but to collectors, it's a fingerprint of something rare. Hold this coin close in your mind. On the front, the timeless profile of Abraham Lincoln faces right, calm, steady, historic. Above him, "In God We Trust," arches across the top. To the left, liberty stands firm. And to the right, the year 1953, followed by that crucial mint mark, D. That small letter is your gateway into rarity. Now flip it over. Two elegant wheat stalks curve upward along the edges, embracing the words 1 cent. And just above that, United States of America. And then the phrase that ties it all together, E pluribus unum. This design had been around for decades, but in 1953, something different slipped through. Unlike the steel penny you just saw, this coin returns to its classic roots. It is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. That's why it carries that warm, reddish-brown tone. Its weight is about 3.11 grams. Its diameter is approximately 19 millimeters, and its thickness around 1.52 millimeters. Everything about it feels normal, expected, familiar, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous to overlook. Now here's where things get intense. Because this coin hides its value in plain sight. Those blue and brown spots are not random damage. They are the result of unique toning and chemical reactions over time, combined with minting conditions that weren't perfectly controlled. This created coins with a visual pattern that looks almost accidental, but is actually incredibly rare in preserved form. Most people see discoloration and think the coin is ruined. Collectors, they see individuality. They see a one-of-a-kind surface signature that separates this coin from millions of others. And when that toning appears on a very fine condition coin with clear details still intact, it becomes something truly special, something that feels like a hidden artifact. Let's be clear, not every 1953D penny is valuable. Millions were made, but only a small fraction carry this specific blue and brown toning pattern in desirable condition. And even fewer have survived without heavy wear. That's why collectors are constantly scanning, searching through rolls, digging through collections, hoping to find that one piece that stands out. Because when they do, they know they've found something others missed. Demand for visually unique coins like this is rising fast. Because in today's collecting world, distinctiveness equals desirability. And this coin, it stands out instantly. Now, here comes the moment. The one that changes how you look at every penny forever. A 1953D Lincoln wheat penny with blue and brown spot toning in very fine condition has reached an auction market value of $137,000. Yes, a coin most people would dismiss. Holds a value that feels like hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. And this price, it is absolutely current based on today's auction market. And here's the reality. This value is not standing still. Collectors are becoming more aware, more competitive, more aggressive in securing rare variations like this. Which means one thing, this coin is gaining power, growing in demand, and rising in value. This is where it gets almost unbelievable. People are still ignoring these coins. They see spots, they assume damage, and they move on. Some even clean them, destroying the very feature that makes them valuable. Others spend them without hesitation, never realizing what they just let go. That's how hidden this treasure truly is. If you want to stay ahead, start looking closer. Don't reject coins because of unusual color. Study them. Examine the surface. Look for natural toning patterns, especially blue and deep brown combinations. Always check the mint mark and protect the condition at all costs. Never clean your coins. Never polish them, because what looks like fixing can erase thousands of dollars in hidden value. Store your coins safely, handle them carefully, and trust your instinct when something looks different. Because different is where the treasure hides. This coin proves something powerful. Value doesn't always shine. Sometimes it disguises itself as imperfection. It hides behind color, behind texture, behind what most people ignore. And that's why so many treasures slip through unnoticed. But now you see differently. Now you know that even a small spot can carry enormous significance. And maybe, right now, somewhere close to you, this exact coin is waiting to be discovered. If this opened your eyes, stay with me, because we bring you discoveries like this every single day. Hidden coins, rising values, archives, and treasures people are still missing. And the next coin might be the most shocking of all. Next up, coin number 3. And now, we've reached the final coin. But listen carefully, because this one doesn't shine. It doesn't look clean. It doesn't look rare. In fact, most people would take one look at it and throw it away. Dark, dirty, aged, covered in strange green spots and a blackened surface that feels almost forgotten. But what if I told you this exact kind of coin, the one people ignore the fastest, is sometimes the one carrying the greatest hidden power? What if the dirtiest-looking penny is actually the one holding the deepest treasure? Because this next coin breaks everything you think you know about value. Let's go back to the year 1940. America stands on the edge of a changing world. The tension before global conflict is building, but everyday life continues. Coins are being produced in large numbers, flowing through stores, markets, and hands across the country. And among them, the Lincoln wheat penny continues its journey. But here's where things take a different turn. This coin was struck in Philadelphia, which means no mint mark, no letter, no obvious sign, nothing that immediately tells you it's special. And that's exactly why it hides so well. Because millions of these coins were made, but only a few became what this one is today. Picture this coin in your hand. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's profile appears once again, strong, calm, and steady. Above him, "In God We Trust," stretches across the top. To the left, "Liberty." To the right, 1940. But something is missing. No mint mark. No D. No S. Just silence. And that silence makes identification harder and discovery rarer. Now flip it over. The classic wheat design returns. 2 curved wheat stalks rising along the edges, framing the words, 1 cent, United States of America. And above, E pluribus unum. At first glance, it looks like any other old penny. But then you notice the surface. This coin is made from 95% copper with a mix of tin and zinc. Its weight is about 3.11 grams. Its diameter measures roughly 19 millimeters, and its thickness is close to 1.52 millimeters. Everything about its structure is normal, expected, nothing unusual, but its appearance, that's where everything changes. Now this is where most people make a huge mistake. They see the blackened tone, the dark, aged surface, and those strange green spots, and they immediately assume one thing. This coin is damaged. But that assumption is exactly why treasures are lost. Because those green spots, they are signs of natural oxidation over decades. That dark shade, it's the result of long-term aging, chemical exposure, and environmental interaction, creating a surface that cannot be easily replicated. This is not just wear. This is time captured on metal. And when this kind of toning forms in a balanced way, without destroying the coin's structure, and the coin still holds a very fine condition with visible details, it transforms into something rare, something collectors actively chase, because no two coins age the same way, which means this coin becomes a one-of-a-kind artifact. Now understand this clearly. 1,940 pennies are not rare by mintage alone, but coins with this specific combination. No mint mark, black shade toning, green oxidation spots, and preserved detail. That combination is incredibly difficult to find. Most coins either corrode too much or lose their detail completely. But when one survives in that perfect balance, collectors take notice immediately. Because in today's market, authentic aged appearance is becoming more valuable than artificial perfection. Collectors want coins that tell a story, coins that feel real, coins that carry decades of untouched history. And this one, it delivers exactly that. Demand is growing, interest is rising, and fewer coins like this are available with each passing year. Now, this is the moment everything comes together. A 1,940 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, featuring black shade and green spot toning in very fine condition, has reached an auction market value of $152,000. Yes, a coin that many people would throw away holds a value that feels like a hidden vault of wealth. And this value, it is absolutely current in today's auction market. And here's what makes it even more powerful. This type of coin is gaining attention rapidly. Collectors are beginning to realize that naturally aged coins like this are becoming harder to find. Which means one thing: its value is not just high, it is still rising. This is the most shocking part of all. People are still discarding these coins. They see dirt, they see discoloration, and they assume it has no value. Some even try to clean it, scrubbing away the very history that made it special. Others ignore it completely, never realizing what they just passed by. That's how hidden this treasure truly is. From now on, never judge a coin too quickly. Look beyond the surface. Study the color. Respect natural aging. Because what looks old and dirty might actually be perfectly preserved history. Never clean your coins. Never try to restore them artificially. Because originality is where the real value lives. Protect your finds. Store them safely. And when something feels unusual, take it seriously. Because that feeling could lead you to something extraordinary. This coin proves something unforgettable. Not all treasure shines. Not all value looks perfect. Sometimes, the greatest wealth hides behind age, behind darkness, behind what others ignore. And that's why so many fortunes are missed. Because people don't look closely enough. But now you do. Now you understand that even the most overlooked coin can carry unimaginable value. And maybe, right now, somewhere near you, this exact treasure is waiting to be found. If this opened your eyes, if this changed the way you see coins forever, then don't stop here. Because we uncover hidden treasures like this every single day. Coins people ignore, values that keep rising, and discoveries that feel impossible until they're found. Stay connected, because the next coin might not just surprise you, it might change everything.